morning. Good morning. I know we have lots of people that are coming in right now, so we'll give a minute for everyone to come in. My name is Kate Wallace. I'm the Association Manager for CalSega. Thank you all for being here with us this morning. We have a treat today. We're going to have a panel discussion with our Ambassador Committee. If you don't know, the Ambassador Committee is the committee that puts on these events every month. So round of applause for our committee. And there are committee members that are on this panel this morning. There are also additional committee members that are just supporting us in other areas this morning. So thank you, all of you, for your dedication to our committee. This is Coffee Chat, What I Wish I Knew. And let's do a little bit of housekeeping before we dive in. So this morning, the first part of our program, we will have a panel discussion with some of our Ambassador Committee members. And during that time, we would ask that all of you would keep your cameras off, keep your microphones off, but the chat is open and it is available to you. So if you're here this morning in the chat, let us know what you're drinking. I have my coffee in my beautiful Disneyland Club 33 mug. Thanks, Manny, one of our panelists this morning, for the hookup on that. So let us know what kind of coffee you're drinking this morning. Before we dive in, I did just want to quickly do a little plug for the annual conference. We are less than 2 months away from the 2023 CalSega Annual Conference. We are expecting this to be our biggest conference that we've had. The 2022 conference was the biggest event, the biggest conference that we had to date. And I feel confident that this year is going to be even bigger. We have a new event for you guys that we're really excited about, that our team's working on. It's called the Under the Stars Poolside Reception. That's going to be on Wednesday night in lieu of the awards dinner. So there's no additional ticket that you need to purchase. It's included with your admission. So if you haven't yet registered for the annual conference, I encourage you to do that. My colleague Allie is on this call as well. Allie, sometime during the call, if you don't mind, if you'll just drop the link to the annual conference in the chat so that people can get the link to the schedule, the speaker information, registration page. So without further ado, we're going to dive into our panel. So normally at this time, I would turn it over to our Ambassador Committee Chair, Ashley Cervantes, but she is going to be a panelist this morning. So I'm going to go ahead and kick it off. And instead of asking everybody to just do a quick hi, instead of asking our Ambassador Committee members to do a quick hi, what I'd like to do is we'll go around and I'll just call on you based on the order I see you on my screen. But I'd love for our panelists to introduce yourself. Tell us your company name and your role there. And if you want to tell us how long you've been in business. So our Ambassador Committee Chair, Ashley Cervantes, I'm going to kick it off with you if you'll introduce yourself.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kate. My name is Ashley Cervantes. I am with Guardian Protection Force. We are based out of Northern California, but provide services for predominantly armed security and executive protection throughout California. Really excited to be here. I am also the Vice President for this term for CalSega. And as Kate mentioned, the chair for this amazing committee. I am so humbled and honored to work alongside such a great committee of CalSega members just like yourselves. So if anybody, this is my little plug, if you're looking to get involved, the Ambassador Committee is a great place to start. We meet about once a month virtually, and we have really done some amazing things in the past few years, this coffee chat being one of them. So this is one of the newest additions to the CalSega events calendar, and we really hope that everyone gets a lot out of it. I know I certainly look forward to them. I'll go ahead and pass it off to my phenomenal co-chair, Justin Frazier, if you want to take it over, sir.
Yeah, thanks, Ashley. Morning, everyone. I'm Justin Frazier with Epic Security Works. We're based out of the San Francisco Bay Area. I've been in the industry since 2009. I've been a co-owner of Epic Security Works since 2018. Currently, I work more in the technology space. Our company, we still do staffing. somebody else wants to, Conrad.
Yeah, and Conrad was who I was gonna call on next. Conrad, introduce yourself. Oh, you're muted, Conrad. Party foul.
Man, sorry about that. Good morning, everybody. It's good to see you guys on Zoom. Look forward to seeing you guys in person. My name is Conrad Lavoit. I am owner of Silver Creek Security Academy and Triumph Integrated Services. Been in Tracy, California, or based out of Tracy, California, covering San Joaquin, Stanislaus, a little bit of Sacramento and East Bay. Silver Creek been in operation since 2007, and Trine has been running since 2016, 17-ish. Can't remember those exact dates, but good to see you guys. Looking forward to have this chat. Thanks.
All right, Bobby, will you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, good morning, everybody. My name is Bobby DeBosi, and I am president and owner of FISOTech Security. We're actually based out in Santa Monica, California, but we cover from the west side to down all the way down to Orange County through Los Angeles. We also have accounts in New York as well. So we also have a license out in the New York area. Super happy to be here with all of you and to be able to learn and share together with all of you. Thank you.
Manny, will you introduce yourself?
Yeah, good morning. My name is Manny. I'm the president and CEO of Blackneck Patrol. We're a veteran-owned company here in the South Bay, so San Pedro Long Beach area. I'm also one of the Southern Board of Directors for the CalSaga on the CalSaga board. Super excited to be here and answer any questions. It's awesome working with this great committee. So looking forward to seeing what kind of questions you guys throw our way.
All right. And last but not least, Miss Margarita.
Hi, I'm Margarita Holman. I'm with Intercept Security. We are based out of Northern California with the office in Rancho Cordova. We have been established in 2011. So yeah, I'm happy to be here. I've been a part of CalSaga for quite a while. And so I'm excited to be part of the coffee chat this morning.
All right. Well, thank you all of you for those introductions. I think I distracted myself and I forgot to mention that at the end of this panel discussion, we're going to move into a time of breakout rooms where you can unmute yourself. We'll be in smaller groups. You can unmute, you can turn your camera on if you feel comfortable, and we can just share with other network, or we can network rather with other industry peers. So while we are chatting, if you have any questions for our panelists, or I know there is a wealth of knowledge in CalSaga, a wealth of knowledge in this Zoom meeting. So if you have things that you want to share, please put that in the chat for us. If you want to introduce yourself in the chat, go ahead and do that. Your role in security, your role at your company, what company you're with. And then also, we'd love to know how long you've been with CalSaga, what other CalSaga events you've been to, and what you're most looking forward to for this presentation today. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in. We're going to get right to the meat of why we're here. I want to ask some of our panelists, if you could give one golden nugget to a newer PPO or training facility, what would it be? I'm going to jump in and start with Margarita.
Oh, fun. Me first. My favorite thing would to establish and maintain industry allies. I even think CalSaga is an industry ally. So if that's other industries, sometimes when we start new businesses, we're scared to interact or we're worried about who's going to have what contracts. But I think the only way you can really get ahead or know what policies and what's going on is to become members of things like CalSaga, to have other agencies that you partner with or that you network with so that you can know what new policies, I just wouldn't fear that. That would not be a fear for me. That would be my main golden nugget.
All right. What about you, Bobby? What would be a golden nugget you have to share?
Well, just like Margarita, I've actually been a member of CalSaga for probably close to 20 years. So I've been in the CalSaga sphere long enough where they probably erected a statue of me in Sacramento somewhere. But the interesting thing about it is I really haven't been able to take advantage of the benefits, and just most recently I just felt like the urge to be able to do that. Just like Margarita says, I feel like Cal Saga provides like just an immense amount of gems just by the camaraderie, of everybody trying to do the same thing. We're all trying to accomplish the same thing. And I feel like one thing that I'm really learning is that this is like an ever-changing landscape, and it's constantly, fluctuating with regulations and laws and best practices. And this is the forum where you can really gain so much from that, and I really look forward to participating in future events because I want, just like all of you, I want my business to be ahead of the game. I hate being in that place to try to play catch up on everything. So thank you so much to Cal Saga and all of you.
Just a quick little story to piggyback on what Bobby said. I started with the association in 2010. Bobby was a member, he predates me with Cal Saga, but the first time I ever met him in person was this past May in Sacramento at Security University. I was so excited to see him. So we were very glad to have him attend that event. Manny, what about you? What's a golden nugget you want to share?
I like to say one of my biggest, it's accepting the fear of the unknown. And I think that is where a lot of new PPOs are really scared to kind of venture out and really push push their boundaries. And I think one of the biggest obstacles that I can give somebody is to eliminate as much overhead as possible as a new PPO. So like not being scared your first year to put a uniform, work the contracts, work long hours, because it goes a long way. I did that. I don't want to say I do that now anymore as much as I wish I could, but that is definitely something I would recommend everybody is to kind of still put on the uniform and remember it goes a long way connecting with the officers out in the field.
Conrad, what about you?
Excuse me. I would say know your mission statement, have value, have purpose, the MVPs of the business, and apply it to your company team, your employees. Let them know the mission statement. Don't hide it. Share it with them. Let them understand it and see you do it. Value. We all need to be valued. Look at your employees in the eye, talk to them, shake their hands. Don't be scared to approach your own employees. Allow yourself to be approachable. Allow them to feel that value, and let them know the purpose. Obviously, is to protect the community, to protect our clients, but go beyond. Go use that purpose. MVP's mission, values, and purpose of a business to edify the employees, your team, and shine.
Thank you, sir. All right, Justin, what about you? What's a golden nugget? I'm not going to call, let me say as a side note, I'm not going to call on everyone for every question, but I think this is a good one. So I want to make sure you hear from all of our panelists. So Justin, what about you?
Yeah, the biggest thing that I've taken away from all my experiences at Cal Saga is that at the end of the day, you as an owner need to stick to your core competency. And what I mean by that is if you don't understand how to do payroll or HR or compliance or just anything like that, but you're really good at, customer service, dealing with clients, stuff like that, hire a resource that knows how to do those things that you don't. It's an investment in your overall success, and it's going to pay off in the long run. The people that try to do everything and penny pinch from the very beginning are the ones that are going to have a real hard time in this business.
I imagine there are some people on this call, maybe even on this panel, that can relate to that. Nobody, you can't wear all the hats, right? You're gonna burn yourself out. All right, Ashley, our committee chair, what about you? What's a golden nugget?
Yeah, I think that my amazing committee covered all of the key, most critical golden nuggets I can think of. To summarize, I guess I would say, ultimately what I hear everyone here saying and sharing is, I think you get in what you put out. And so I think that goes for the day in, the day out, like Manny described, right? Being present, being willing to go out there and boots on the ground, and however that might look for you. But I also think, what we heard Bobby say being actually involved in CalSega, right? You get in what you put out. So by being here, I see all of you putting in more, and so hopefully that means you're going to be getting out more. And that would be my golden nugget. That, and make sure you do not miss compliance and legal. I think we have the Gary Bradley on today, so definitely that man is just a wealth of knowledge, as is all of our speakers at our annual conference. So there's my plug for the annual conference, Kate.
Yes, Gary Bradley is one of the speakers for our human resources session. He also serves as a vice president on the CalSega Board of Directors. So make sure you are registered for the annual conference. Gary will be speaking on Thursday, October the 19th this year. And although I do not work for a PPO, I talk to a lot of PPO owners and management. So I have my own golden nuggets that I just want to rapid fire throw out there at you guys. Weekly payroll. Make sure you're paying every week. And Ashley mentioned compliance. Make sure you understand what is required of you. Make sure you understand what training is required. I definitely don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but I have talked to multiple company owners who assumed that because an officer has a guard card, he's had his 40 hours of training. Maybe he has, but it's your responsibility when you're putting him on post to make sure. So make sure you're understanding what is expected of you to stay in compliance. Conrad just posted in the chat, what is your company mission statement? That's a great one. If Conrad, this was not on our pre-approved list of questions, but do you want to share your company mission statement?
Well, I don't have it with me at the moment, but I do have, it goes a little bit more behind that. It begins with you. You got to have a personal mission statement to even see if you even fit in the industry. My mission statement, I'll share it, is to recognize, promote, and inspire others to overcome, conquer life's challenges, to live by, know, and help others understand their mission statement. So it is part of my mission statement to bring it out to whatever entity it is, whether it's a person, a family, a business, to know their mission statement, because you cannot put yourself in a setting such as a security industry, as a doctor, as a lawyer, or whatever entity or organization is, if your personal mission statement doesn't fit in, you just won't be happy and it won't work. However, if you find a company that has a mission statement that just thrives, that sticks out to you, just says a lot. I do have one on my Silver Creek Security Academy website, and I'll run through that one really quick. And it says here, to train, equip, and empower security personnel and civilians with knowledge and skills to keep them and others safe. It's simple. It's simple, and it lets the community, it lets the public know who I am and what I'm striving for. I believe a mission statement is a living sentence. It's breathing. It has an impact. So if you have a mission statement, yeah, use it, share it, live it. I mean, I can continue going on for about an hour on this topic, but yeah, mission statements are powerful. So if you have one, share it with me. I would love to hear it.
Thank you for sharing that. And thank you, Ashley. Ashley posted her company, Guardian Protection Force's mission statement in the chat. She also posted CalSega's mission statement. So thank you for that, Ashley. And I do just want to let you know that when as a committee, the Ambassador Committee, when we were talking about making plans for the Ambassador Committee, we went back to the CalSega mission statement because we wanted to make sure that as a member-based association, we were meeting your needs. And so one of the principles, one of the tenets that CalSega strives to provide is to assist our members with personal development. So I hope that this event is one example of where you could walk away with some encouragement. I know a lot of times from trade and continuing education events, we walk away with discouragement and a longer to-do list of things we need to do to stay in compliance. But I hope that you walk away today with some encouragement that there are other people who have walked your shoes before, who are currently walking your shoes, other people who want to encourage you in your business, also maybe some people that you can encourage. So I encourage you to stay for the networking today, network with your industry peers. I don't want this entire coffee chat to become a commercial for the annual conference, but let me say that the annual conference provides a ton of opportunity for you to network. One thing that we added last year was a fun trivia with an open beer and wine bar, a trivia session and networking. That's on the very first day of the conference. So this year it's going to be Tuesday, October 17th. So please do plan to attend the conference. Plan to get there at the start of the conference so that you can attend that session. It's so nice that we have the ability to network virtually, but the ability to network in person is much better. Thank you to Manny, who posted Black Knight Patrol's mission statement. I like what Conrad said, that it doesn't have to be complicated. It can be simple. So, okay, so moving on to some of our next questions. One of the things that this is kind of close to that same question, so we can kind of mash two into one. I asked you what your golden nugget was. Thank you, Dennis Smalley. I see you in the chat for posting CalADAD's mission statement. Dennis Smalley, longtime member of CalSAGA. So something that I would like to know is how many CalSAGA events have you attended? What CalSAGA events have you attended? Was there anything at a CalSAGA event that challenged you or that you walked away from just with, I don't know, just something that was great that you walked away with? Conrad, I already called on you several times already, but you had a good answer. So I'm going to call on you.
Well, this question was probably the one I held off on. I actually came back to it. I had to put some thought into it. But yes, I do have an answer, such as security officer of the year and participating in that and understanding that I know that to have a team or anything in family or whatever, friends, you identify their greatness and things that they do well. And I believe CalSAGA has that program to go out there and find who the security officer of the year is, and the Medal of Valor, the life-saving awards, and to participate in that, because there's a lot of companies out there who have a lot of employees, and they put their awards in and they get the award. So here we are, we think about being a small company and I don't have a chance. I do have a chance. I do have employees who do credible things. And in their day-to-day work duties, they accomplish so much if we pay attention to them, if we acknowledge them and say, hey, what is it that you're doing different today that I can maybe do for my employees, and just get them a little bit of recognition, which will go a long way. So there's a pamphlet here that I'll pull up hopefully really quick that I want to talk about. It's basically from CalSAGA. I think I already touched base on it. I can pull it out really quick. I have right here the awards, the annual awards criteria. Basically, there's a form here that I'll put in the chat. But basically, the life-saving, yeah, the life-saving award, the Valor Award, the Security Officer Year. It's basically the application. And if you haven't seen this, it basically tells you how to nominate somebody for that, and that's just been tough for me. I mean, it's challenging because I want somebody to be identified, to be recognized, and it fits perfect with who I am. It's like, and I just haven't done that. I am challenged to do that. So yeah, I'm definitely going to go out there and look at my team. It does help me all together, just to help identify who I am as a company.
Thank you. So if you don't know, what Conrad is referring to is CalSAGA has some annual awards. We have the Medal of Valor, we have the Life Saving Award, we have the Security Officer of the Year Award, and we have the Al Howenstein Lifetime Achievement Award for a security professional. So in the chat, I posted a link to our website where you can learn more about those awards. You can look at the criteria. The nominations do need to be submitted by September 15th, so you've got a couple weeks to do that. But please do, this is a great opportunity to recognize your employees. We last gave these awards in October of last year. So anything from October of last year to now, please do nominate your employees, recognize them. Ashley, did you have something? I know you've been to a lot of CalSega events. You might have been to more than I have. So what events were your favorite? Was there anything that challenged you or stretched you?
Yeah, so my first CalSega conference was in October of 2012, I believe, and I don't think we've missed an event since then. So Security University is a little bit of a newer concept, and I know a lot of you came to join CalSega through Security University, which is just been such an amazing to watch that transformation. 2011, thank you, Kate. Yeah, that's right, because it would have been October of 2011. So yeah, but so Security University, just kind of watching that transformation. The concept kind of started as PPO 101, and it was something that I think we just did at the beginning of the conference, and then we tried to plug it in different ways, but kind of watching the development over the years, and how refined the calendar of events for CalSega has become is truly a phenomenal resource. So again, I know Kate doesn't, I'm the one over here that's like, oh, this is gonna be a great advertisement for CalSega, Kate. And she's like, no, don't make it just an advertisement. We need to, really talk about all of the pieces that affect each and every one of you in your day-to-day roles, as PPOs, as operational managers, as, administrative professionals. So I will say, the greatest challenge for me in all of the events that I've attended over the years, truly has been becoming overwhelmed. And I think it's something that I really have to balance. And again, this is where it's so great to come to events like this and hear from people that are so much wiser and have so much more experience. And since Gary's here, I'll give another shout out to Gary, because really, truly, one of the things that I've heard him say over the years is, you're never going to be 100% in compliance. You're just not. It's not possible. And so really getting to that place of, okay, I'm going to do my best. If I end up, worst case scenario, in front of a judge, in front of a jury, I'm going to be able to display that I did everything I could. And was I perfect? No. But I attended all of the events that gave me the resources. I checked all the boxes that I knew existed, right? So I think just balancing that has been my biggest challenge thus far.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. I want to ask, what is one thing you wish you knew before starting your business? Justin, what do you got?
Where do I start? One of my favorite quotes that I've heard in my career is, you don't know what you don't know. And when we first started our security company back in 2018, we assumed a lot of things coming from previous business experience. But running a security company is unlike any other business model. And when we first sat down at our first security university, it was alarming and eye-opening, to say the least, all the things that we were doing wrong, because we just assumed that it was like any other business. So it would have been nice to know that before we started.
Okay. Margarita, what about you?
There are so many things I wish I knew, but just like Justin said, I have a business background. I've owned other businesses, but it's not the same. It's also not the same being in California. So when I joined CalSega, it helped me. I wish I knew about that. That's actually what I wish I knew about. I wish I knew about the program. I wish I knew other people. I was fortunate to know a couple other people that had security companies, But even then, when I went to my first university, I brought information back that they didn't know and they were open before me. So I just really wish I wish there was something that told us. Somebody asked me the other day, is there like an alert you get when something changes? I said, not necessarily. I mean, I guess if you're a policy follower, you will find that out. But with most of us running the business, and when you first start, you don't have the money necessarily to hire people and to do all these things. So I think going to the training, not to just go back to selling it, is the one thing that will provide all that information. You know, it's not everything, but it's so many things. You know, like knowing about what to put on your application or not to have. We have legalities that we don't think about. Now we have don't say him or her, say they. You know, there's just little things. I also connected with people such as the attorneys, the consultants, the different people that I was able to ask questions at these events when I went to the conference. So I think my first conference, not that that's part of the question, was in 2015, I think. And like Ashley said, it's overwhelming, but I do like the balance when you're in person because we do play games, or, you know, we might have dinner and we do these other things where we're able to network. So sorry, I kind of got off the topic, but yes.
No, I think it's all on topic. And you mentioned how do you know about the things? And you mentioned even just something as one little piece of a business as an application, but pronouns and birth dates and asking about past salary. It's so many things to keep up with and to keep track. And it's a lot for one business owner to know everything. And so that is our goal as CalSega, is to help you, is to provide you with learning opportunities, is to provide you. We have a quarterly newsletter called The Californian that comes out 4 times a year. We started that in February of 2018, and we've done that 4 times a year since then. So you can read all of the past editions on our website under publications. When things are happening, when things are changing, we will reach out to let you know. So definitely, you know, make sure if you're not receiving emails from news@calsega.org, let me know, give me a call, send me an email, kate@calsega.org, and then we can figure out what's going on to make sure you're getting that information. Manny, what about you? I know it's been a couple minutes since I asked the question. So what CalSega events have you been to? Was there anything at a CalSega event that challenged you, or what is one thing you wish you knew when you started your business? We'll just throw all the questions out there.
Yes, that is a lot of questions.
Sorry.
But no, I've actually, this is my 3rd conference that I've attended in person. I really didn't get involved with CalSaga until you know, right before the pandemic. So like 2018, 2019. I know my team here has attended prior to me. But again, something, you know, I totally recommend the conference, and, you know, I think it's a great networking opportunity. I've met some amazing people, some amazing companies. We subcontracted a lot of work to companies that I met at the conference that have the same vision and the same idea of delivering world-class service in the security industry. You know, and I think what's awesome is the dynamics we have. On our board sits the CEO of Ally Universal, GardaWorld, or executives from GardaWorld, Securitas, but you also have smaller companies like Blacknet Patrol, like Ashley's company, Guardian Protection. You know, so it's pretty awesome to see the dynamics. I think it's a great place to network. One of the most challenging things from the conference, I think, was getting elected last year, or getting on the board. I was like running around, like trying to convince people to vote for me. And I think, you know, it was pretty awesome to see so many people actually voted for me. And if I can, sorry, Ashley, the last part of your question was if I can take anything away. Is that correct? From the conference?
I think
If there was anything that stretched you or challenged you.
I think just accepting that we have to pay weekly. I think, you know, and I'll be the first one. It was something I really we pay weekly. But it was something very difficult for me to accept at one point. And, you know, I think it's like a cruel reality, the Chandler cruel reality. Sometimes he tells you stuff you don't want to hear, but if we don't hear it, we would never make those changes or limit our liability and exposure.
Okay, thank you. I definitely want to leave time for us to have time in the breakout room. So I'm just gonna go rogue as a moderator and just say any other thing that you want to add. Bobby, I'm gonna throw all that at you. Any other thing that you want to add for our attendees to share?
Yeah, like I said, I've been a Cal Saga member since the beginning of time, but I just attended my first university this past year. It was like, as the panelist said, super eye-opening. But I don't want anybody to feel intimidated by that, because the reason why I felt it was so welcoming was that it's non-judgmental. Everybody is on an equal footing and everybody really respects each other. I think the mere fact that whether we're on this call today or whether we attend a university, the mere fact that we're doing that and taking that kind of action shows that we're trying to raise the bar of the industry. I mean, let's face it, some of the companies around us who don't want to invest that time, who don't want to invest, anything but the bare minimum, they're inadvertently lowering the standards, and unfortunately, we all pay for that, but at the same time, there's something refreshing when all of us can get together as equals and then be able to collectively put our minds and our hearts together. And I would say that it's the best investment ever, and I'm really looking forward to where the industry goes. I think there's going to be changes again in the future, but I think if we all stay committed, and challenge ourselves to learn even more, we're going to be able to see incredible advancements, and our companies are all going to be able to be successful. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Fraser, any last minute wrap up things you want to say? You have the microphone.
Yeah, just to kind of go with what Bobby said, things like Cal Saga, going to the events, it's an investment in your business. Just to give an example, the opportunity cost to miss something like the convention. When we first went to our first convention a couple of years ago, we were spending tens of thousands of dollars every year. And within the first 45 minutes of the convention, I was introduced to one of the uniform vendors there that we ended up signing with and using them for our uniforms. And it saved us tens of thousands of dollars throughout the year. So just little things like that, like, can you afford to miss an opportunity to help your business? And, if you're not willing to invest your time or your money and try to make your business better, I don't think that you should be a business owner. This just really isn't the thing for you. You should always be trying to make your business better. Stuff like this is one of the little things you can do.
Thank you for that. I did just see a question in the comment about the push to pay weekly. I wouldn't see it so much as a push to pay weekly as more as a push to help you be in compliance. And that has nothing to do with the BSIS. It's a labor code section. And so we have a resource called the PPO Toolbox. And so I will link that. Well, if I can multitask, I will link that in the chat so you can see that. If not, it's on our website under publications and PPO Toolbox. But our legal advisor from Bradley, Gemellick and Wellerstein, Jamie Wellerstein, she wrote a good synopsis there for us of why PPOs are required to pay weekly. And also, Counselor Gary Bradley just posted in the chat, simply stated, security officers in California need to be paid weekly. So it is a requirement as required by the labor code. So, and yes, well, we could talk offline if you want to. Biweekly pay for the security industry. I'm sorry, weekly pay is required for the security industry per the labor code, and I will give you the specific section in the PPO toolbox. Margarita, any last words of wisdom that you want to share with our attendees before we move into the networking piece?
I just want to say, reiterate what everybody's saying. It's very important. If you can't make it to CalSaga to join some of the other things, I came on the chats before. I learned about policies on the chats. I actually seen Manny do I think it's Manny is your name, a social media before on a coffee chat. Some of the stuff I don't implement because I'm wearing too many hats, but just to know about it and learn, especially the important things like policies. I've actually went to a university and I came back and told one of my friends about the weekly pay, who ended up in litigation not too long after, but they had made some changes. So they, although, no one wants to go to litigation, they did, and they had issues. They didn't have as many and they were a little bit prepared, but I don't even know if they're a member, or I think they are a member, but they didn't make it. And so the information, the cost of coming to the conference or joining the chats or coming to any of the reading the newsletter is way less than the cost it can cost your company if you're not in compliance, especially the compliance. It's just, unfortunately, California's fees, we don't like them. Just like Gary said, we don't like it. It's a bummer. No one wants to pay weekly. It's a little bit extra work, but you also don't want to be owing millions of dollars or even hundreds of thousands when you're a small business that could shut you down potentially. So I would get the information. It may seem a little overwhelming at first, but I do think they bring a lot of light to the information when we're in the conference, especially network, keep those things in line. Security industry is not like other industries. Like I said, I've been in business before. They're not the same. There's so many little things that you just won't find out about. And make sure when you're linking up with other security professionals or people that have that industry knowledge, because it is different from other things. And that's it.
Thank you. Manny, do you have anything else you want to share?
It's actually on my notes. But I would recommend everybody to really use social media as a tool for not just recruitment, but for transparency. And I like to always recommend everybody to come check out our Instagram, Black Knight Patrol. We have a heavy Instagram presence, and we're all about collaborating with other companies, especially CalSaga organizations. So I can definitely help or have my team help you guys if you guys have any questions or anything. I also wear a CalSaga board member hat, so we're here to help, and you guys can lean on us for any questions or any assistance. So yeah.
Thank you, Manny. Is there anybody else that I didn't ask that last question to besides Ashley? Because Ashley has a cute analogy that I liked reading. Is there anybody else that has anything else to add before I throw it to Ashley? Oh, Conrad.
Yeah, no, I think the annual conference it's a must for me. This year I'm going to take one of my supervisors with me and expose them to CalSaga, and CalSaga, the conferences is kind of a mind and company realignment per se, that you owe to yourself, you owe to your business, just to get re-in tune. I mean, you're going to see, I'm just repeating what everybody else had already said. You're going to see others going through the same stuff, trying to understand the same stuff, struggling in the same ways, but also getting through some of the hardest times in a business, in the best ways. The CalSaga has a great backbone, and which I needed, credibility, which I needed. I guess the last thing that I wanted to share is be encouraged. Don't be afraid to share it with others. CalSaga is a great organization. Again, I don't know if we're not trying to sell we are selling CalSaga, but we're not selling CalSaga. We're just having a coffee chat regarding the security industry, and just you have to go to the conference. And I look forward to seeing everybody in person, shake your hand, come say hello to all of us and to each other. Networking is a big thing in my books, and part of my business is to network within the industry.
I like it. I like it. And Ashley, before I throw it to you, because yours is a good segue into networking, Conrad, thank you for sharing that, because one of my not even in my professional life, in my personal life, I don't want anybody to feel alone. I don't want anybody to feel like they don't have a friend. And so that's why I love that we've added this networking session on the first day of the conference, because even if you come to the conference and you don't know anybody, we're going to put you on a trivia team. And so you will make some friends the first day, or at least make acquaintances or people that you can have a beer with or a glass of wine with. And did I mention it's an open bar for that event? So please do plan to come to the annual conference. I quickly, before I throw it to Ashley, I do want to address a couple of the things in the comments. I did post the PPO toolbox for you. You can read more about weekly payroll, but it is the California Labor Code section 201.3 that requires weekly payroll for PPOs in California. Also, someone had asked about Security University. So I just really quickly want to go over the different events that CalSega puts on. So thank you all of you on this call who are CalSega members. Your membership dues help us to be able to put on programs. We are a small team. Myself, my colleague Allie, who's on the webinar, who you can't see, my colleague Chris. That's it. That's us. So thank you to the committee members for helping out. Thank you to those of you who support the association through your yearly membership dues. Security University is our management training program. It's a 2-day program, so a 16-hour training program. We pack a lot into 2 days, but it's a really good program for people who are new to the industry or new to a supervisory role, but also it's a really good reminder even for industry veterans, because as we know, in California, the laws are ever changing. So even if you have been in this industry for 10, 15, 30 years, there's going to be things you have to keep up with. So Security University, we typically do that 2 times a year, once in Northern California, once in Southern California. We've had some requests to add on a 3rd session for 2024. So we might be adding that for next year. That is intentionally, we keep that smaller. We keep it about 70 people so that you get the opportunity to network with each other. You get the opportunity to ask your questions to our speakers, our subject matter experts. The annual conference, that's our big event. It's a 3-day event. It's in Palm Springs. It's October 17th through 19th. That's a bigger event. It's still going to give you new information that you need. It's still going to help you to get and stay into compliance. It's also going to have some social events, also going to have some networking events. The annual awards that Conrad mentioned, we will recognize officers at that event. So they're different events, but I think there's benefit in you attending both of them. And then the other type of event we do is this. You're already here, the coffee chats. So this is an event that is put on by our ambassador committee members, the people that you heard from this morning. We also have some other committee members that you didn't hear from. They meet every month to plan these coffee chats for you. These are going to be, like Margarita mentioned, like Manny mentioned, they're good. We had one about social media. The last coffee chat that we had, we brought the chief and the deputy chief on to bring you an update on the training material, which you will also get an update from them in person at the annual conference in October. So our goal is that we would be providing you with the information that you need to operate your business in compliance profitably. Gary commented in the comments and said that it's not just about educating business owners. Your managers and your supervisors need this information as well. Yes, the coffee chats are available to anyone who works for a CalSega member company. Also for potential members, they're welcome to come, and these are free events, of course. And then Security University, send your supervisory staff, bring them with you to the conference. I like, Conrad, that you said you're going to bring some staff with you. I know Manny's brought lots of staff with him in the past. Ashley's brought lots of staff with her in the past. Justin brings staff with him. So please do make sure you're registering for that event. I'm going to turn it over to Ashley, and then she'll kick us into the rooms. Thank you. Sorry, Allie.
And that's okay. I just wanted to very quickly share, because I do think the networking time is so important, but I don't know how many of you have seen the new Spider-Verses movies. If you have not, there's 2 of them. I'm showing you a picture on my screen right now because my favorite scene is in the second Spider-Verses film. It's called Across the Spider-Verse, and it's where all the spider people from all the different planets, like the different Earths across the quote unquote Spider-Verse, meet up together in this essential clubhouse. And this is exactly how I feel at a CalSega event. So imagine that you are Peter Parker on your Earth, and then you show up at CalSega and you see all the other Peter Parkers and Gwen Stacy's and all the spider people, and you get to, for the first time, realize that you are not alone in the Spider-Verse. And so that was it. That's my final piece I just wanted to share with all of you, so you know how I'm gonna feel when I show up at CalSega in a Spider-Woman costume. I'm kidding.
Thank you for sharing that, Ashley. I like it. I like that analogy a lot. So please do come to the conference, but right now, please do stay for the networking. Allie, if you will go ahead and open the breakout rooms. So Allie will open up the breakout rooms. It will give you the option to go ahead and move yourself. If not, within a few seconds, it will move you there. Last thing, nothing new on AB 229. It will likely be January before we see anything. Thank you all for being here this morning.